Today I'm going to show you how to knit twists and cables. Let's do this. Okay, so one of the things that we can make when we know how to twist is these. So these are just one stitch that has been twisted to the right, and then one stitch that has been twisted to the left. And then when they meet, I just twist them the other way around, and then that creates this diamond pattern. I also have this type of thing. So these are just twisted 1, and these are twisted over 2. So there are 4 stitches, and I just twist 2 over 2. Here there are two stitches, and I'm twisting 1 over 1. So there are a lot of possibilities in being able to make cables, and these are just some of them that I'm working on right now. So what I'm going to be showing is, first I will show you how to twist, so that's 1 and 1, and then I'll show you how to do the cable afterwards, which is the 2 over 2, so it can be this way and that way. And we're always to remember, the first thing that is very important is that when we have, let's say these are stitches, right? When we have some stitches and we want to twist them, so if I twist this with this is always going to be knitted first. So when we talk about twisting left or twisting right, we're talking about whether or not this stitch is on top or that stitch is on top. So they're always going to be twisted. There's no sort of which am I knitting first, but we're talking about whether or not, if it's to the right, then this stitch over here is on top, then we will see a right slant. And if it's to the left, then we will see that this stitch is on top, then it's going to be a left slant. Because this is going to sort of be hidden, and we're just going to see this, and it's going to be, twisted in this direction or that direction. And the same thing goes for the 2 over 2. We call them different things, and they look a little different, but it's completely the same. We're just changing the order in which these stitches are being knit. So here again, these stitches over here would be knit first, and then these, and whether or not it's twisted to the right or to the left is just whether or not these are on top, that would be a left slant, or these are on top, that would be a right slant. So I have a little sample here, and I will start by showing you the 1 over 1. So we need 2 stitches, and we need to learn how to twist them one way and how to twist them the other way. And I have 3 really, but there are no special equipment that you really need for this, but some people like these little helpers. So it's just another knitting needle, but it has no ends, first of all, and a lot of them have this sort of indent, because then it can hold the stitches and then it can sort of hang. There are also the ones that look like a giant safety pin. So it's the same, it has the thickness of a knitting needle, but it just looks like a safety pin, and it's nice because you will often lose this, I find. And some of them are also round, so it just goes up here and then down. So you have this shape, and again it can just hang with you take some stitches off and you hang it, and that's why it needs to be more than just another, it could be just another knitting needle. If I had another of these, I could just use one of those, but it quickly becomes quite difficult. So I want to show you ways of doing this without the helper, and I think they are as easy as using the helper, but of course I will show you how to do it with the extra needle too. But let's start with the twisting, and I will show you without any special methods first, and then I will show you my special method afterwards, or not mine, but the special method of twisting afterwards. So first off, if I just come up to the camera here, first off we will knit. I will start by showing you the right twist, and then I'll show you the left twist afterwards. So in order to twist these two, I want to knit this one first and then that one. And then I need to choose whether or not to put this one on top or that one on top. So I will slip both of them, and this is just the way that I sort of started doing it because I didn't know how to do the other method. So we are going to be letting go of some stitches, but I promise there is not going to be any weight on them, so it shouldn't be a problem. Now to put this on top, I want to go behind it. And then I want to grab this stitch here. And then I want to let go of the stitch that I want to be on top. So I am grabbing this and then putting it on top here. And now I can knit both of them. So here we are. And basically, as you can see now, this row here is sort of, they are on the same path or in the same order. What we have twisted is really the stitches below it. Not really twisting the new stitches, we're really twisting the old stitches. So don't do this on your very first row down here. You need a couple of rows before you start twisting. But I will show you again. And some of you might not be really wanting to do this because you don't want to let go of your stitches, and that's completely fine. There is a method of doing this without letting go. But here I am at the next two stitches I want to twist. I have the one I want to twist this way, and then I have another stitch here that I want to go under. So I am slipping both of them. Then I'm going behind the stitch that is going to be on top, and I am grabbing the other stitch just by going through it. And then I am letting go of the first one here and going into it again and putting it on top here. So now I've twisted the row below, and I can knit those two. And I'll just knit to the end. So here. So now I have twisted the new, as you can see here, the zigzags, and this one is going now in this direction. So I will just purl back, and then I will show you the method in which you don't have to actually let go of your stitches. Okay, so now we're at the front again, and I will just knit up till the stitch I want to move. So it's hard to see, but if you slip the two, you will be able to see that this stitch follows. So basically when I have this on the right needle, the left needle, sorry, it sort of goes this way, and it's hard to see whether or not this is actually the one that has been twisted last. But when I grab it, I can see that this whole thing here follows. So I know that this is the one that I twisted. And it became really big, and I'm really sorry, but it's hard on camera. So instead of doing that, let's do something that's a little bit smarter. So what we can do is we can go through both of these stitches. Then we grab the yarn and knit those two together. Then you keep these two stitches on the needle, and then you go into the first one here, knit that two. So now I have knitted two together, and then I have replaced it with two new stitches. So let me show you that again. I have two stitches here that I want to twist. So I'm going to go in and knit both of them together. I am leaving the two stitches here. Now they're really tightly together. But then I will go into the top one here and knit that also. And then I can take both of the stitches off of the left needle. So let me just do it with the last one here. So now I have two left. I will go into both of them, knit both of them together, and then I'll go into the top only and knit that. So no stitches need to be dropped or picked up again. And I think it's a little bit difficult. It's a little bit much to remember, but I have a sort of rule for how to remember when it goes left and when it goes right. And really, I think for most purposes, this is the better method of doing it. Even though with the other one, you really get the sense of the twist more. It's it's more intuitive what is being twisted, because you're actually doing the twist sort of manually, if you will. But I will show you now how to twist to the left. So again, that just means that they're still being knitted out of order. The second stitch is still the second one to be the first one to be knitted, but what we want to do is we want to knit this one first. So if we do it the way that I would typically do it, I would take both of them, I would slip both of them, then I would go in front, because I want this stitch to be the first one. I want this one to be knitted in front. Then I'll grab the other stitch and put it here. And then when I knit it, now I have twisted the row below. But if you don't want to do that, then let me just put them back here. And the sort of the clever method is that you're now going to knit this one first, but from the back. So you're going to go in here, and that will twist it. And knit that first. And then you will go into both of the stitches. And then you will knit those two together. And let me just show you that again, because I find that quite challenging, to be honest. You go into the back of the second stitch and you knit it. And then you go into the back of both of the stitches that you want to twist and you knit those two together. And again. Oh no, I can't do it here because I'm at the edge. But I will purl back and I will show you. So now we're getting a track that goes this way. So all of these stitches are twisted to the right. All of these are twisted to the left. Then I twisted a little bit to the right and now I'm going left again. So I'll just show you again with the left twist. So I'll go up to the stitch that I want to twist, and here it is. This one ends here, this line of stitches here. So I'll go to the back and knit this one first. And then I will go into the back of both of those stitches and knit both of them together. And let's show you again. So here we are again. It becomes easier to see where your twisted stitches end after a while. To begin with, it might be a little bit hard to actually see where it ends. So I'll go into the second stitch. So it's important that I don't go into both of them, but that I skip the first, grab the next one, and do a twisted knit, basically. And then I will go into both of them and knit them together. And you'll just continue on with that. Obviously, I think you should practice first, but, you know. So, that's how you do that. It's not particularly easy, but it's a very great method to be able to use. You can really make some really great things. I think this pattern is so pretty with the diamonds. No, it's hard to see. Even though sometimes you do get some longer and some shorter. Yeah. So now let me show you how to twist more than 2 stitches. Right, so let me also show you the back of this. Of course, it is not as plain as normal, as your normal wrong side of the work, but it just gets a little bit more bumpy. You can't really see the pattern on the back. So unfortunately, this don't produce a very nice backside. When you do a pattern for a while, you will produce something that seems like a pattern, but it never becomes sort of a pretty backside, unfortunately. Oh, and I should also mention that when I go on the backside here, I'm just purling every stitch. So I don't have some special thing that I do to the back, I just purl. So, here we are. It will still look continuous even though every other stitch going upwards actually hasn't been twisted. So let me show you if we wanted to twist more stitches. So here I want to twist 2 over 2, meaning that there are 4 stitches here and I want to twist these 2 over these 2 stitches. So I will start by showing you the method that I usually use because I find the little helper thing quite difficult to actually manage. So if I wanted to twist right, then I would go again on the back here, on the back of the stitches, and then I would grab them here. So I'd grab the 2 stitches that I want to move to the back, if I can get them. So 1 and 2, and then I would let go of the 2 other stitches. Here we are. And then I would grab those 2 and put them in front. And then I can knit them. And if I wanted to do it the other way around, I would just go in front rather than in the back. So let's say, we'll just do one here. So let's say I wanted to twist to the left. I would again slip off 4 stitches, and then I would go in the front, and then I would grab the 2 stitches here that I want to move. Then I would let go of the other stitches, catch them again, and then put them here, back on the left hand needle, and then I would just knit them. And I know for a lot of you that you're not going to be interested in doing that. I just think, especially when it's only 4 stitches, that sometimes it is actually a little bit faster and easier. But let me purl back and then I will show you how to use the little special helper thingy for doing the same thing. So I have grabbed my extra needle and I will just knit up to the point where I want to twist. So let's say I wanted to twist these to the right, to the left. I wanted to twist them to the left. What I could do was I could take this and just move these 2 stitches to the extra needle. So here, and then I would put them on the, I would put them in the bent area, and then I would put it to the front because I want them to be showing, right? These are going to go this way no matter what, but if I put them on the front, they're going to be showing. If I put them on the back, they're not going to be showing. And then I can grab this somehow and knit those 2 stitches that are next here. And then I can go down and I can grab the 2 stitches on the helping needle here, and I will just knit those, or on the cable needle I think a lot of people call it, and I can just knit those 2. And then we can move on, and I actually dropped a couple stitches, so let me just pick those up. Okay, here we go. Disaster averted. And I'll just do a cable on the next 2 stitches too. So I take my cable needle and I slip this one here and the next one without dropping everything. And if I want to twist to the right. Then I will put my cable needle in the back. Then I will untangle the yarn because it's now in the back of the cable needle, so I want it to be in front so that I don't get any strange loops and extra stitches because I have caught them on the extra needle. Then I will knit the two. So this is number 3 and number 4 stitch, and I have 1 and 2 on the cable needle. So I will knit this one and this one, and then I will grab the cable needle and slide that out so that I can get to the 2 stitches that I have on hold back here. And I will knit those 2. And this is the big problem, I think. So here we are. Here. And then I can move the needle out of the way and then just knit my other stitches. So now I just, with the single twists, I followed them, and here I have just gone out and in, and then out and in. Yep. So if you wanted to move more stitches, you would just put more stitches on the cable needle, and less, of course, you can move less. So you can do 3 over 1, or 3 over 3, or 1 over 3, or whatever. And you will always remember that it says how many to move. So 1 over 3 would be take 1 stitch, move it over 3, and then it will tell you either to do it to the right or to the left. And I forgot to tell you the last thing, which was important with the single twist, which is when you do the, let's say I want to move these 2 stitches to the right. When I put the needle in to do 2 together, I am actually pointing to the right. So a right twist is the one that starts with knit 2 together, because my point here is pointing, the right needle is pointing to the right. So I'll go in here, knit these 2 together, and then, obviously I'm on the wrong side so I wouldn't do it here, but I would knit these 2 together, and then I would knit the other one, the first stitch here. So that would go to the right. If I want to go to the left, I would point my right hand needle to the left. I would go in, still pointing to the left, and pick one up from the back. Knit that, then put it into both of the stitches and knit those 2 together through the back loop. So essentially twisting the stitches. And that is really difficult because I just twisted these, but you get the point. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next Friday.